migrating towards you. Just like the dogs.
All right. What's been the funniest thing that's happened in the last 2 months and 21 days? What's the funniest thing?
You go first.
I think it's the days where we feel like we always make a mistake, or when we cleaned out the trailer and got poop all over us. You just kind of become okay with having poop on you, but
Which is worse, having poop on you or becoming okay with having poop on you, right?
That's a good question.
Oh, that is a good question. Yeah, probably becoming okay with it.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna happen regardless. So, unfortunately.
I think for me is thinking you're doing something great and then finding out it's a dud.
Yeah, I guess that's about how I was trying to say it.
Yeah, like so before we got the forecast of the consistent rain, we had to plant all the seed, and I think you guys took off for the day, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go plant this seed up front, and I spent 5 hours out there doing a great job, being very careful and getting some good lines of planting the seed. Come to find out, I didn't plant anything because I didn't release the valve at the end, so I was just out there driving the tractor. And come to find out, I wasn't actually doing it, and I had a great time. I had my AirPods in, listening to music, sermons, and now every time we pass by it, Dean's like, look at all that seed you didn't plant. Or like, this would have been a really nice field if you planted seed. And so it's funny because every time we pass by the front now, it's the seed that could have been planted. So stuff like that is funny to me, but not
I feel like
really
there's
funny
always
when you find out.
something funny that happens every day.
Yeah.
You either cry or laugh, right?
So what's been the most emotional for you?
I think for me it was the transition, like feeling like I got in over my head and that the kids were struggling and we were struggling, and it was just kind of that letting go part, the transition. It was emotional.
And surprisingly that hit me too, because I was trying to prepare her for it, because again I had the experience of leaving my family in Las Vegas, and I'll be fine in this, and come to find out I didn't realize how much I was going to miss Oregon, miss the people in Oregon, miss her family. We stopped by in Vegas on the way down here, but I kind of, a different story for a different day, but I got my life back together in Oregon, so it really made me miss Oregon. But yeah, the homesickness hit me harder than I thought it was going to hit me, and the adjustment and like she said, the letting go, that this is what we're doing right now, and we got to make the most out of it.
The journey to the promised land.
Yes.
Not always what you picture.
Our exodus,
yes. The Israelites weren't so sure about their trek, but it got them to a good place.
So when you first got here, your kids couldn't really walk from the RV to the truck.
Mm-mm.
And what can they do now?
Now we have to make sure we're not out too long, or else they'll end up
walking all over the
halfway
place.
Across the farm.
And Lena has actually helped us out with fencing, and I can actually say she's walked with us to pull wire.
And she's 2. She's 2 years old.
She's 2 years old, and
Theodore too.
Yeah, Theodore too. But Lena, she genuinely has held the string, and again Theodore too. But I think Lena has a little bit more. Pulled a string I don't even know how far of a distance, but way more than even some 25-year-olds would want to pull a hot wire in this Texas heat.
Yeah.
And so it's amazing seeing them grow and seeing that transition, because like you said, they couldn't step 2 feet outside without melting down, and now we got to make sure that, hey, get back in the trailer.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah, they do a good job.
Lena likes to point out the fence that she's pulled when we drive around the farm.
Yes.
She does. She'll say, "I pulled that fence."
yeah, she's
Yes.
a little helper. They
And
both
she
are.
helps if she sees any trash or pieces of metal. She always picks them up.
Yeah, so the other day,
Theodore likes to look for if he thinks an animal is acting funny or has a poopy butt or something.
the other day, it's actually funny because I dropped off the gas jugs over here where they usually go, but I also had 2 empty buckets and I left them there. And a couple days later, they were still there, and Lena was with me. I forgot what I was doing. I came to drop something off for the food or something, and Lena was like, "Oh, there's 2 empty buckets. I gotta go move them over here." And she went by herself, grabbed the 2 buckets, and put them upside down where they go. And I was like, "That is awesome!" Like, I didn't even have to tell her. I didn't explain anything to her. It was just instant. Like, "Oh, there's 2 buckets where they're not supposed to be. Let me fix that." So it's exactly what we had hoped for, you know, like even like an answer to prayer, you know, like them working and them, because I didn't tell her like, "Hey, go grab those buckets and put them right." Like, she, without me even having to tell her anything, just
Well, I was getting ready to ask you what your proudest moment is, but you might have just answered that.
yeah.
Do you have?
I have a bunch of different
Yes,
moments.
tell us your proud moments. Let's hear them.
I think the kids, you know, being okay with like just being here is a huge proud moment to me. Them working, them helping us out, adapting with the animals. When we first got here, there was a lot of grasshoppers, and they would get freaked out or this and that, or if they saw any insects or any flies or bees or whatever. And now we got to tell them like, "Hey man, if you see anything that's weird, stay away from it." You know, like they're very curious, and again, getting more confident on a different subject is getting more confident with the heavy equipment. Just seeing your growth is a big accomplishment or a proud moment, like knowing that like you're getting better. Yeah, that you're getting better. Like, oh, I'm not as horrible as I was when I first got here. You know, so
You weren't horrible.
She loves to chase him.
Your turn.
I don't think there's any single moment. I think I really like. I'm really proud that we took the leap of faith and came here, and that we stayed. And yeah, just learning things like building things, and you know, building fences, building feeder covers, building and being able to have our kids right there. Oh my goodness, you guys are so cute.
All the stuff, just like even if we only stayed here for a year, all the stuff that we can literally add on a resume is just through the roof, you know, because we're learning so much that it's incredible. It really is, like so much information of so many different things is getting uploaded in our brain, you know. It's cool.
Automatic upload when you go to sleep.
Yes.
And I feel proud that you and Dean trusted us with the farm over a weekend.
That was huge.
That felt like
it was
proud
motivating
moment.
It's like, what, like let's just have everything done, everything, you know, like even if they didn't say it, let's just have it all done.
Pave the roads.
That's another
everything.
thing. That's
Everything.
a huge answer to prayer too,
the whole farm.
because a huge answer to prayer is the fact that we by God's grace, we're allowed to see that we were getting into this habit of laziness, and now it's like, man, like, even though sometimes we wake up tired, we wake up wanting, like, I want to go and get that done. Like, we can't, like, you know, when we had visitors and we were socializing, like, look, man, I love to socialize with you guys, but I gotta go and do stuff. Like, you know, like you know, it's not that I don't want to socialize, but
having that urge to want to
go
get things done.
Yeah, exactly. That is huge proud moment.
Well, we are thankful for you guys. We love being able to get away for the weekend for our anniversary, and we couldn't have done it without you being so responsible and eager to learn, and have really just jumped in head first and really just submerged yourself in the farm and learning all the ins and outs. And it's a lot of intuition and a lot of observation, because it's not a checklist. You don't wake up every morning with a checklist or a thing, you know, something to run through. It's a lot of being able to adapt to what is needed. So you guys have done awesome in that. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, really quick, I wanted to know if you could tell us about Toby and how you got him and what kind of dog he is, and kind of how his life was in Oregon, and now what his life is like here in Texas. And then at the end, tell us about Wilma and Toby's relationship and what happens there, because I think it's kind of shown up a little bit here and there on camera. I'm not sure how much has gotten in view, but so yeah, start with when you first met Toby. How'd that happen?
Toby, I guess we met him on our son's 3rd birthday when we visited your farm in Oregon. I don't remember ever having seen a Great Pyrenees, and we didn't go there to look for dogs. We went there to visit the farm for Theodore's birthday because he wanted to go see animals. And I saw Koa walk by us in the I remember it.
Thought it was a lion. It was like
in the goat field, and I had never seen a dog like that. I didn't even know if it was a dog.
Yeah. Right
and
next to the sheep. Yeah, crazy.
He was beautiful, and you guys had mentioned, oh, you know, we have some puppies and we still have a few left, and we're like, oh no. But then we thought about it, and I did a lot of research on the breed because it was just new to me, and just the way Dean gushed over the breed and how they were different, and I was curious about it. And a lot of people described them as gentle giants, which, having little kids, felt like the perfect dog for us. And we had our chickens. We had just gotten them. And we got them after a couple months of visiting the farm. And so we're like, oh, this is perfect. He grew up in a barn with chickens. So we took him home about 8 weeks old.
March 8th.
Yeah, and
2020.
And he had a very luxurious life in Oregon.
I have pictures.
You
sent me a picture of Timo carrying him like he was your 3rd child through the store, up on his over his shoulder.
Yes.
He's a big snuggler. Toby.
He is actually exactly everything I did not want in a dog, which is hilarious. I didn't want a big dog. I didn't want a dog that had a lot of hair, and I didn't want a dog that barks. And huge check mark on all 3 of those. And he, come to find out, was everything that I actually wanted in a dog.
He's great with the kids. And so when the opportunity to come here came up, we figured that would be a perfect transition, and he needed to learn to do some real farm work too. So
he's an intern dog.
He lives out here with the chickens and the pigs now. So going from a couch potato dog to chicken
full guard
chicken watch dog.
On the clock, 24/7.
He's done really good. Actually, I'm impressed with how well he's done, and I think it's just that the breed, they just kind of have that intuition to know
That
their
great
job.
Pyrenees.
And he has
instinct.
a funny relationship with Wilma because when she had her piglets, he had never seen a pig before, and so when a little piglet got out, he pawed at it because he had never seen one
Hey,
before.
what are you?
And ever since then, Wilma just doesn't like Toby, and even when he's not near her piglets, she's always chasing him.
Yeah.
Chasing him around, and I think it gives her a sense of power. And he just runs away and doesn't get too bothered by
He says,
it.
I don't want to fight you.
Yeah.
Like, it was just a one-time
He
thing.
says, "Not
Please
worth
forgive
it."
me. Like, I didn't know what it was.
But it's actually funny. It's like a funny thing to see every day. To see a pig chasing a dog.
Yeah, he's a goof.
And one
It
of
just
his,
shows his tenderheartedness. Not just him, but the tenderheartedness of the dog, because he could hurt Wilma immediately.
Mhm.
And for him to actually just like, I don't want any trouble, you know,
Yeah.
like just
Mhm.
it's
funny.
awesome.
and one of his best friends out here is Valor, right?
Oh yes, him and Valor have a good relationship. Valor loves the dogs.
And Valor is
He's a goat. He's
sorry, I wasn't trying to put you on the
no,
spot.
he's a goat.
I just thought some people listening might not know who Valor
That's
is.
true. That's true.
So Valor is a little goat that needed a little extra loving care, so he's living up here, and I've seen that he
Yeah, they
and
love on each other.
Toby are
Mhm.
They have that you scratch my back, I scratch yours kind of
Yes.
relationship.
And it's cool. It's cool seeing
Toby.
seeing all the animals get along up here.
it is. They do get along.
They all
Oh,
one big
lots of
happy,
nice loves.
diverse family.
All right, so if anybody's watching this and they're thinking, wow, like that would be a big lifestyle change, but maybe I want to do an internship, what would your advice be to them?
Do it. Just
Yeah.
do it.
Do it. I mean, even if you only do, like you guys offer 3-month internships, 6-month internships, 1-year internships, and
Just do it.
it's
Just do it.
if you're sick of your everyday life and you need a change, what better way?
It is such a different lifestyle and just completely different to the way culture is now that it really is a beautiful lifestyle. Like you get to learn so much from taking care of animals to taking care of the soil and seeing it give back to you, and just working alongside with people that have the same passion, the same vision. Even though we don't really have any experience in farming, you know, like having that passion grow and wanting to learn and wanting to get better, even though it's an ongoing learning process, just do it. You know, like I would encourage that. Even if when it does get hard, nothing's ever really easy. Anything worth fighting for is never going to be easy, you know. And it is different. It is it's not like your ordinary city life, but you get humbled, you grow, you appreciate things that you would never think you appreciated before, you know. And you get to learn how you get to learn your food, and not only the food but like the soil, you know. There's just endless things to learn. And I would encourage, in fact, I think everyone should farm for a year.
Yeah.
Like just whether you want to or not, just do it for a year, because I actually read a statistic that it's less than 2% of the nation that grows people's food.
No, I'm on the spot. That sounds about right. I don't
think
know
it's
for
less
sure.
than 2. I'll even highball it. Say less than 3% of the nation's population grows the food for the rest of the population. And it's humbling. It's humbling to and we're not even there yet. We're still in the
Right, this is a startup
birthing
regenerative
stages,
farm.
you know. So there's still so much for us to learn. There's still so, like, we've barely even scratched the surface, you know. Like,
and it's things that we get to learn right alongside our kids.
Yeah.
And we get to pass on.
That was
the
one of the
knowledge we
things that
learn.
was huge for me, like in the letter that I wrote Tiffany and Jason. And that was one thing that I really actually helped me, and I don't know how this slipped my mind, but I went back and I read the letter that I wrote Tiffany and Jason. Like, yeah, we're not leaving, you know, because like one of the main reasons that I wanted to come here for was to be able to do this alongside my son. And yeah, I guess, you know, like he can't do everything that we're doing, but again, them pulling wire with us, then the little things start adding up, you know, like
Even just watching you work.
because my dad, you know, like my dad's my biggest inspiration for working, because he sustained a family of 6, and even though he was working all the time, and he was gone a lot of the time, he wasn't home a lot just because he was working, you know. But in that absence, I got to really appreciate the fact that a man is to provide for his family, to provide for and provide and protect for his family, you know, and to be not only to be able to teach that to my son, but to do it with him. I'm like, yeah, this is why I wanted to be here, you know, to grow as a family. And we definitely have. We've grown as a family. We went from a 1,200 square foot house to a 30-foot trailer, and we saved, like, that's what's crazy, is that we wanted to make more money so we can have less. Like, no one does that. Like, you know, like we wanted to just get rid of everything just so we could humble ourselves. And yeah, it's rewarding in ways that you can't really describe. You have to experience it, you know. And we'll never be the same after this. Like again, if we only stay here for a year, like she pointed out, and like, you know, that's true. Like, we'll never be able to be without animals now. Like, so whether we stay here longer than a year, again, we don't know what's going to happen at the end of our internship, but
And I
we
would
know
say
that
if,
it would never be.
if
We're not
it's
going to
in-
be the same.
if it's impossible to make it here for an internship, still, you know, learn about regenerative farming and where your food comes from. And it's just I mean, what better way to learn than being hands-on?
Yeah.
But if you can't, then I would still encourage people to learn about it.
Yeah, get in contact with your local farmers and just learn how your food is being brought to you, what it takes. Like, words cannot explain how much I look up to Dean, like, really. Like, his tenacity and his just his drive to get things done, you know, like, because he wants to fix the soil. He wants to just take care of the land that we live on, you know, like. And there's so many other aspects, but just his tenacity on his work ethic has really been
And
amazing. You know,
and
both of
Dean
you,
are-
really, both
yeah,
of you.
both great
you know.
teachers.
Yeah, we're really, really thankful for the type of wisdom you've shared fellowshipping with you guys. And one thing that I really like about the way Dean teaches is, when we were doing the training pen, is I was supposed to put 2 wires down, and I did it wrong. But what I liked is that he allowed me to make the full mistake, rather than like, hey, you're doing it wrong. And like, he allowed me to make the full mistake, and then he went back like, hey, what was going through your head when you made this, you know? Like, not in any condescending way or anything, but he just genuinely wanted to know, like, what was your thought process when you did this, so I can show you what the thought process should be. And then in hindsight, I'm like, whoa, like, what was I thinking, you know? So like, his way of teaching is like, he's very patient. he's very smart, you know, very, very wise, and just his work ethic is just top notch, top notch.
Well, those are all very kind words. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll say thank you for him. We have come to this. We have gotten to know your family so much better. Well, we live right next door to each other, and we adore your family and your kids. And we are so glad that you took the internship program here. And we are thankful every day for you. And it has been so much fun to watch you grow and learn and just really grab this. It's like you have the world by the tail. And it's awesome. I keep finding ants on me. I'm like, sorry, I get distracted. I'm like in between bites.
Yeah.
I just want to just kind of wrap this up with just telling you thank you so much for taking time out. I know you guys are busy. You work hard all day. You have 2 kids at home. And I don't know if you've had a chance for dinner or not, but I know you made a sacrifice to come sit out here and share all of this. And we're just grateful for your time. And
Get a pretty sunset with it.
we get a pretty sunset in that background.
Yes.
But we
Do regenerative farming.
Do the
Do
internship.
farming. Do regenerative. It's again, it speaks for itself.
Come
it
hang
comes
out with us at
It
Blue
comes
Ranch
with. It
Farms.
comes with. I actually wrote Jason when we hit our first month, and I told him like this has been probably the most challenging month of my life, but it's been one of the most amazing experiences. Like, and we're barely a quarter of the way through, you know.
That's true.
And I'm excited to learn how to start butchering.
Yes. So, kind of a silly question. I'm like, I have so many more questions.
Yeah.
We should do a part 2
Yeah.
of the interview. But
Fire him out.
did you, when you first started here, did you find that you had muscles that you didn't even realize were in your body?
That's another funny thing. When I first got here, the first morning that we were here, it was me, Jason, and Dean, and we were going to patch up a fence that got down. And while we were driving over there, I was like, "Hey guys, where do you think I could find the nearest gym around here?" What a fool I was.
Save your money.
Yeah,
You don't
save
need
your
a gym
like
membership.
you really do work out muscles. You can't work out at a gym. And not only that, but the mental workout that it takes to get through the day on certain days is just, again, like you can't build that strength in a gym.
Lots of bucket carries,
Yeah.
so you get those little muscles that you don't normally use.
Yeah, back to that Thursday and Friday when we were making that training pen. I think I was so and I was still drinking so much water, but I was still so dehydrated. It was straight in the sun. And every movement that I was making, whether I was trying to grab a cup or when I was like just pulling, everything was sending me into cramp spasms. Like no joke. Like I was trying to grab a cup, like my hands just like it's crazy. Yeah,
And you
That
still
feels
say,
good.
do the internship.
yeah.
it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
It's worth
because those 2 days came with like a breakthrough after. Because I'm like, all right, after those 2 days, like I think we can handle another 2 days
Yeah.
like that, because those 2 days were probably the hardest 2 days to this date, you know. And that was even, and you know, like me and Dean pulled some all-nighters sewing or seeding, but those 2 11-hour days were just breakthrough for sure. But still do it.
Yeah. Well, you get breaks. You guys are gracious, and like I think you gave us a 3-day weekend after those long
I think
2
that was
days.
after that weekend. You gave us a few days off or something. We were able to take it easy, and yeah, it's a good. And again, it's not like you're clocking in, clocking out. It's just it's a lifestyle. And it's a good style of life to learn.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks for your time, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.